This is how I would learn hacking from scratch if I had to start over. For context, I'm a senior penetration tester and a team lead for a penetration testing team. And the goal of this video is to get you up and hacking right now and also give you a plan for long-term growth. You probably heard that to learn hacking, you should first learn some other technologies like getting an introduction to networking and Linux, and maybe even programming. And this is true. But I don't think that is the best way for you to get started. Instead, I want you to start hacking things right now and then learn the technologies around that as you go. This will help you get up and running today and help you stay motivated throughout your journey. The important part is that when you are hacking something, you're actually learning. Taking notes is super important, so that's something that you should start now that you're beginning. Immediately start taking good notes. They should be written in a way that even if you get amnesia tomorrow, you should be able to just open your notes on a given topic or tools, and you should be able to understand everything immediately. Doing this will force you to understand what you're actually doing, because you have to write in detail how an attack works, how the tools work, what are the arguments, why are you sending in these arguments instead of something else. And that will force you to learn. And that's the most important part when it comes to hacking. Your goal should always be to learn and understand what you're doing, not solving a challenge or finishing some kind of learning module. With that out of the way, let's start, and we will start over with some web application hacking before we start moving on to hacking into servers. And the reason for this is that the world essentially runs on web applications, so learning to hack them is always really nice. To do this, we're going to use a free website called Portswigger, and I'll run you through how you can actually use this to best effect to learn web application hacking. Now, this is Portswigger. They are the creators of a tool called Burpsuit, which is the most common web application hacking tool which you are going to have to learn. And what you want to do is that you want to create an account and then go on this Academy tab right here. This will provide you with learning materials for almost every single common web application attack type. And a lot of this is even better than paid and enterprise training. It is one of the best resources, and I highly recommend this is one of the resources you use on your hacking journey. What you want to go on here then is all content and all labs. And this is where you'll be doing your hands-on challenges. On the left-hand side, we can see a bunch of different types of web application attacks. So for example, SQL injection, very common one to attacking databases behind web applications. What I want you to take a look at is not the web LLM attacks, even though those are super fun, but to start with business logic vulnerabilities, as they require no prior technical knowledge to solve. It is pure hacking in the sense that you're just abusing logical flaws in their system. You click on that and it will take you to the business logic vulnerability section. And what you want to do is stay on this site and kind of go from the first one and down the list, because they will add a layer of defenses for each challenge, making it harder as you go along. We will open the first one in a new tab and go through it. And here you can see the challenge. You can click accept the like to start up the challenge. We're not going to do that right now, but when you were ready, you would have clicked that. Here you can see how to solve it. To solve this, you buy a lightweight lead leather jacket and you have an account with the username Wiener and the password Peter. Additionally, if you're ever stuck, there's solutions down here, including a YouTube video from a community member, and using those is completely fine, as long as, again, you are making sure that you are not just doing the solution yourself to finish the challenge, but actually understanding why that solution worked. Additionally, you might not know business logic vulnerabilities or any of the other topics that you maybe want to do. For example, you might not know how to hack these web LLMs. Well, at the top of the challenge here, you can actually see that it says, oh, well, we are in the business logic vulnerability sections, and currently we are in the labs. If I open this business logic vulnerability in a new tab, here is all the content that I will ever need to solve this. So you can scroll down, read this. They will even, give you some examples of business logic vulnerabilities, and they will give you, code and how it works and break it down nicely. They do this for every topic, which is what makes this some of the best web application hacking content. A lot of actually cutting edge techniques like HTTP request smuggling and stuff like that have actually been posted here very early before they get on these premium platforms, because Portsrigger has some great research. Now that was the free kind of web application challenges, but let's take a look at hacking into servers, escalating our privileges to administrator, and that kind of good stuff. To do that, we're going to use the platform known as Hack the Box, because I think they have a mode that I really wished existed when I started hacking. By going to app.hackthebox.com, you get to their CTF hacking platform. There will always be free challenges here. If not, then you can buy premium access if you really think this is great. Right now, for example, this cap machine here is available with something called guided mode. And I think guided mode is one of the best way to learn this kind of what we call boot to root, meaning your job is to get access to the server by hacking into it and then escalating your privileges to administrator. If you do so, you get some flags which you can submit and you will get point and get on a leaderboard. Now, guided mode is really great because instead of just giving you an IP address and then say, good luck, have fun, they will ask you questions which if you answer, you will be able in the end to submit first the user flag and then the administrative root flag. For example, here we can see that it asks how many TCP ports are open. And if you don't know that, well, this is the great time for you to learn. You will be Googling or even having a prompt for an LLM, which might tell you what tools that you should research or what techniques you should research to solve this challenge. Then you can study that, take notes, learn, and this way is one of the best way to actually just learn. You get a challenge, you get a hint, hey, this is probably what you should try to figure out how to do. You go and research that, you learn it, you take your notes, and then you keep on moving. In my case here, right, if you want to figure out what TCP ports are open, you want to run something like this command here. So I'm running a tool called nmap, I'm doing a TAC-SS for a sync scan, I'm getting version numbers, I'm running some exploit scripts to kind of figure out like, hey, is there any vulnerabilities here that I can find, some misconfiguration on the server. I'm telling it to scan every single port, and I'm giving the IP address and then telling it to go quite fast. This returns 3 different ports, a file transfer protocol server, a remote protocol called SSH, so we can log into the server if we had credentials, and a web server on port 80. So the answer to this is 3. I will then be going down here, typing 3, submit flag, and then we will get the next challenge. After running a security snapshot, the browser is redirected to a path of the format /something/ID, where ID represents an ID number of the scan. What is the something? So again, how do we find this out? That is for you to solve. Now, while Hack the Box, again, does cost money if you want active to the archive, I actually think it's worth the money. It is really, really nice to just get some servers, get some hints to how you can solve them, take notes, learning like that, and then hacking into servers constantly. There's different difficulties and there's a huge community on Discord as well where you can talk to people. They are all of the completed retired machines where there is guided mode. There's also a video walkthrough and there's also a PDF walkthrough, which again, you can go and read just to learn like, okay, well, I'm stuck here. I can't find a way onto the server or I can't privask or whatever you're struggling with. And then you can go and find out, well, what are they doing? And you can learn that way. This is one of the best way to learn hands-on yourself. Both of the platforms that we're looking at right now gives a bunch of challenges where you can do hands-on stuff. But if you're more interested in learning different attack techniques, tools, and so on, where you first get an introduction to that technique written by professionals, and then you get challenges that you can train those techniques on, then there are also a couple of platforms that are really great for this. The first one is TryHackMe. TryHackMe, you pay a subscription to them and you will get access to a lot of stuff. There's also a lot of free, so you can actually just try this out for free, try different modules, learn new stuff, and then if you like it, you can pay for a subscription to get access to more content. They have a bunch of different paths, including also at different modules. There are walkthroughs, there are networks you can practice on, and so on and so forth. This is one really great thing, especially since you just pay a monthly subscription and then you get access to all the content. Now, while TryHackMe is great, there's another platform as well that you can use, and these are for the same people that gave you the CTF platform. Hack the Box has their own academy, which you can get certifications from. This is actually really good. I reviewed actually the hacking certification, the CTFs, which is equivalent to the very famous OSCP certification in a previous video. You can go and check that out if you want to figure out if this certification is something for you. But they essentially provide the very similar experience to TryHackMe. There are different kind of paths. There are a bunch of different modules, from everything from Linux fundamentals, how to use Nmap, which we just took a look at, and you get a couple of free credits to buy some of these modules in the beginning. Additionally, you can of course buy more of these cubes to gain access, because this works a little bit different than TryHackMe. Where in TryHackMe you pay for a membership and that gives you access to all of it. Once that membership is out, of course, you lose access to that extra content. While on Hack the Box, you buy a monthly subscription, which gives you these tokens called cubes, and you can use those cubes to buy access to different learning modules. This does that, for example, you might have a subscription running for a couple of months, you get some cubes, and if the subscription you cancel that, you still have the cubes where you can buy different modules, giving you a little bit more flexibility in when you want to learn, depending on how your time schedule is. Outside of that, it seems like both platforms do pretty well. I have used both and they seem pretty good, so whichever one you choose is really just up to you. Hopefully this will get you guys online and learning hacking. It's super fun, and the most important thing again is that learning aspect. If you're not that into learning and deep diving into stuff, then hacking might not be for you. But if you love that challenge, if you love figuring out how does this work, how can I exploit that thing, and you like finding those, weird vulnerabilities and being challenged, then hacking is one of the greatest places to be. And I don't think that you will regret starting this journey, because it is so amazing. I hope you guys liked the video. If you do, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.